I haven't seen Evil Dead 2 yet. What would you think? I'd think that you're a cinematic idiot and I'd feel sorry for you. All right. Why? Because it's a brilliant film. It's so funny and violent and the soundtrack kicks fucking ass. I never thought I'd say this, but can I go work now?
Welcome to yet another episode of What the Hell Did We Just Watch? And this is episode 9. We're almost there to episode 10. I'm so happy about that. And now I can actually really say the title of this show will definitely match the movie that you guys just watched. That's actually going to be the fun part about this, because we're going to tell everybody right now, what the hell did we just watch? But before we do that, I just need formalities. Who's here on the show with me? So why don't we start on my left? Go right ahead.
The not so good looking John is here right now.
Right at this very moment?
This very moment.
Oh, finally. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank God
we
for a
missed you.
while. Yeah.
Yes. And what do we got here to my left?
Oscar Lopez. I am back here this week.
So you're here too?
Yes, I am
live
here.
and in person?
Live and in person.
Wow.
Full effect.
Awesome. Okay, so now it's only two of you guys, which I like because it'll be a little bit controlled of how the show is going to go today. Now, the main part of this title is of this show is what the hell did we just watch? So now basically, what the hell did we just watch? Somebody want to tell me right now?
Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet. Now, one of the cool things I love about this movie before we start talking about it is actually one of my favorite films of all time. It's actually on my top 50. The best part about this movie is because you just got introduced to someone named David Lynch. David Lynch is an amazing filmmaker, in my opinion. One of the best ever made. Why? Because he does the movies he wants to do. And I have a thing for that. I love people that make films and they make the movie that they want to make, shot for shot, like a Stanley Kubrick, like Eyes Wide Shut, like the one we do. He makes the movies he wanted to make. You know what I mean? So with Blue Velvet, it's that same exact thing in all the other films he's ever made. So I love that about him. You already know that I love it. Now, John, the not so good looking John. What did you think of Blue Velvet?
It really was a strange film, man. It couldn't get any much, stranger than, that movie. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't introduced to his works through this movie. I actually saw Dune, the movie that he did.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a weird movie.
Because it's the most studio movie he's ever made.
Yeah, that could be it.
Believe it or not. Yeah.
This movie takes the cake. I felt like I just got done watching a horror porn or something like that.
What about you?
Yeah, I literally don't know what I just watched. It was very random. It was I couldn't call anything that was gonna happen.
No, not at all. Like literally, you don't know what
you
like when you watch first scene. You get a sense of what the movie's about. That is explained. That's actually very simple, but you don't know where it goes. You don't sense where it goes because you get introduced to this movie in a very specific, very normal way. Almost to the point where the movie's a little boring, where it reaches that kind of threshold where it's like, all right, if the whole movie's gonna be like this, I don't know if I want to watch it. But then when you get to that point, I feel, is when it turns into something else, and then you meet Frank Booth. Yeah. So
its weirdness is what kind of caught me into the movie. Like, it was just like, okay, you know what? It just took a weird turn. Let me watch this even, further and see how weird it gets. And it hit to the point where it's like, what the hell did we just watch? Like.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you think, like I told you, it was like, before we watched it, it was like an unpredictable kind of sexual film that, has unpredictable turns. So then you already have like this kind of like mental note in your mind. Like you probably start kind of like, like thinking it's like certain other kind of movies that you may have watched in the previous, or maybe like Eyes Wide Shut that we previously saw. And did it even hit any of those marks, like of what you thought it was gonna be?
Well, the expectations of the film actually caught me by surprise a lot because most of the things they did in there I didn't really see coming at all. Like it got really weird, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, when you threw that in there. But yeah, and then actually what I liked about it was there wasn't a lot of dialogue.
No.
You kind of just have to. You read what you saw.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
emotions are in the music and
Yeah.
in the shots
Exactly.
that you see.
Yeah.
That's what I love about David
Yeah.
Lynch so much.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there's a lot of spotlights. Blue Velvet. But let me just ask you real quick before you guys keep talking about it. John, did you like the movie?
Yeah,
Thought it was good?
it was good.
What did you think, Oscar?
I think it was good.
Yeah?
Definitely good. Yeah.
'Cause
It's actually one of those films I actually would watch again.
You actually would?
Yeah.
That's actually really cool because I find it rewatchable. I just don't know if other people will. You know what I'm saying? Would you rewatch it, John?
I don't know. It's definitely not like a movie that I would go out of my way to see unless if somebody introduced it to me. Like if I'm at a store and I wanted to rent something, Blue Velvet would definitely not catch my interest at first unless if somebody introduced introduced it to me.
Did you grasp everything? Did everything make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
in a weird way, yes.
Yeah, in a weird way. It does make sense. It's not like weird, except for one scene which we'll get to later, because even I don't even know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
You know, but one of the things I love about this movie, it is because it is rewatchable to me, just so you can see if like you missed anything, because it's or even just for like the performances, because Dennis Hopper I think kills it.
Yeah, he definitely.
You know,
does.
like you don't like once you get to that scene where everything's normal until the part where he's in the closet. When he's in the closet, and he's seeing what's going on with the girl, with what's her name? Dorothy?
Yeah, Dorothy.
Yeah.
Dorothy Valens, which is like I always think about Richie Valens, the singer. But with Dorothy Valens, when she's like hiding in the closet and she sees the guy, everything is so quiet. But when it's quiet, and then when he starts talking, he starts like just profanity after profanity. Fuck this and fuck that. Like everything has fuck in his sentence, and you really start waking up like, what? Why is he talking like that? And then you start seeing what you're getting introduced to. But David Lynch films, what I love about his movies is that he actually is a director that does not get on like interviews. Like he doesn't, like when people ask him what do you think your movies are about? What are they about? He says, well, what are they about to you? That's actually what he says back. He returns the question right back to them, because he feels that his films are films for you to experience it in your own way. He thinks he has no right answer to his movies, even though he has a straight story, like obviously like that. But what you see is your opinion, or how you express that opinion, you know, that scene or whatever, like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
It's like looking at a picture, and you know, the artist always tries to be like, okay, well, what does this picture mean to you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously, an artist would be like, okay, well, this is how I'm drawing it, but what does it mean to you for the viewer? You know, like, I guess that's every director's point. You know.
But what I like what he did was he actually created scenarios where it made you think, what would you do in that situation? You know.
Let me just tell people what the film is about. It's a very simple story. You got a college student, Jeffrey, who comes home from college because his father got sick by getting bitten by a bug that he had an allergic reaction to. So while his father's recovering, he feels that he needs to run the store, the family-owned store that he has in town. And when he's there, he comes across a human decaying ear in the grass on his way home, and he takes it to the police of the town, which he knows, and this guy tells him that he's going to investigate. So, but while the cop is investigating, his own curiosity starts getting the best of him, and he wants to keep digging deeper, and he keeps digging deeper, and a whole new world opens up to him that he never knew existed, but that's what I mean about this character. It's like one of the cool things that this movie does, like I said, it shows you such a normal world. You know what I mean? You got the family. You got the man that's watering his grass. That's super normal. There's nothing normal. There's nothing abnormal about that. And everybody's having fun, enjoying themselves on what looks like a nice summer day, until that bug bites the gentleman that's wetting his lawn, and he's incapacitated. He has to be hospitalized, and he's literally like almost paralyzed when we see him. And it's kind of like, believe it or not, like a foreshadowing of what the movie's about, in a way. Frank Booth is that bug that bites Jeffrey. You know what I mean? Or even the woman that he meets. Which is Dorothy. Anybody about to add to that?
No, you pretty much summed it up there.
Yeah.
That was a really good summary, man.
Yeah, I've watched this movie a lot of times, and
I was literally thinking, like, what can I possibly add to that? There was nothing I could add. You
pretty much covered all the angles.
That was a perfect summary.
Jesus Christ, you guys should run my show. One of the things I really love was when I found this movie. It was like in the late 90s. That's when I saw it. It wasn't in 86 is when this movie came out. But when I saw it, I kind of saw the reactions that you got, and I started remembering my reactions to it, because it was like, what the hell am I watching? What the fuck is this?
Literally, yeah.
Holy shit, man! This is like crazy. Like, it's normal storytelling, but then he brings in like that obscurity that literally throws it up, and that's what makes his stories unique. Because there isn't anything unique about this story as a whole. A guy's curiosity, he digs deeper, he finds weird shit, but he takes that weird shit to the number 11. He hits that 11 dial, and you can't help but watch.
That's true. Yeah, that was. I'm trying to think, like, that. There was some scenes in that movie where I'm just like, okay, either Jeffrey likes to be put in this position where, like, of weirdness, or I don't know what the hell was happening.
But you know what? I feel like weirdness sells, and you don't see that a lot in films.
It does.
Because everyone's to the idea where if it's sex, it just has to be sex. That's it.
Yeah.
But now he took it to a whole nother level. Like, I mean, there was foreplay going on.
It's just like you said,
serious foreplay going on.
Weird and sex sells, and not just money wise, but in our own curiosities as human beings.
Yeah.
Like, if we were in that position, we would want more because we're not used to it. You know what I mean? But sometimes people are open to something that they don't understand, instead of like being like disgusted and never want to see it ever again. Mm-hmm. But that's why I love the scene where he goes to the when him and this girl Sandy, they're having lunch, and they're talking about the first night he went there, and she's like, "Are you gonna go back there again?" And he said yes.
Yep.
So calmly, right?
Yeah, but he was trying to cover up what he was doing. He knew that he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what the hell he was doing. He was being a sick perv, man.
Well, think about it.
He knew what he was doing.
Some normal people, if they ever had to like deal with that, they would run away and never come back. But he wanted to come back
because he's a sick. You know, I mean, can I curse on this right now?
Yes. It's all right, man.
He's a sick fuck, man. He knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He liked that shit.
You think he did in the beginning? It freaked him out.
Absolutely. Yeah, for an old person, hell yeah. I mean, spoiler alert, but like,
come on, like if you
no, spoil it, man. Spoil it. That's the best part about this conversation. I want to have a conversation about this movie.
Yeah,
but realistically though, if you go to someone's apartment, you follow up to a crime, right? You see somebody there. She's in a literally a bathrobe, right? Come on. Let's be real.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that part's sexy, but then all of a sudden she comes out of nowhere, gets a knife. That's the beauty
of it, because you don't know what you're gonna get.
He liked that shit. He liked the fact that she had the knife in her hand, and he was like,
and she's telling
she was being the dominant one.
Yeah,
this is like no dominatrix shit. She knew what she was doing.
You ask a whole bunch of guys fetishes about certain things. You'd be surprised what you could hear.
Well, he didn't even know he liked that shit.
Exactly, he didn't know. He just went with it. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
he was forced to. Why? Because she had a knife at him.
She had a knife
when she first meets him.
Exactly, but as it progressed, the knife wasn't there no more. And then that was all his own doing.
Yeah.
When she said, "Hit me," and he said, "No, I can never do such a thing," you know. And all of a sudden, you know, he gave into it and he hit her. You know, and then he completely destroyed it. But the whole point is, like, that's the thing. It puts you to a place where certain people feel uncomfortable. Would you or would you not do it? See what I mean?
Nah, man, that was that.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that whole scenario was too weird for me, man.
No, but this is the weird part. You find out as the movie progresses that this girl Dorothy, this lady Dorothy, you find out that she's giving sexual favors to this man named Frank, and the reason why is because this guy Frank has her husband and her son hostage. You know what I mean? So okay, so that makes sense. Why all that? But why the relationship between Jeffrey and Dorothy? She never asked him for help until the very end, obviously.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm talking about, like, that's the part that always intrigues me the most. It's like, is she diving into it because she's doing it so much with, like, with what Frank is? And she's just kind of like, sort of like how she says that his disease is in me. Sort of like it's her disease is on him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I've always thought that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, she's diseased and he's tagged along for the ride because she got into it, being like a victim of it for so much. You know what I mean? So I always saw that, like, that's my explanation. It's like, wait a minute, if you're like so scared about your husband, you know, getting killed, and your son is you know, captive in someone else's house, why are you like having sex and enjoying yourself with this guy Jeffrey? You know what I mean?
But here's my question: where was her husband? Was her husband dead?
Her husband was the guy at the end of that film, in that apartment.
The one in the scene,
with the blue,
like,
yeah, the guy that was sitting on the chair.
Oh wow! That's
Hence the missing ear. The missing ear. Jeffrey's theory was that it was her husband's ear, which was. Hence the ear was missing. Now the thing that I was gonna
makes sense.
Yeah, the thing that I was saying is that in that scene, when we meet her husband for the first time, and that guy, the man in the yellow suit, the yellow man, as Jeffrey, because he doesn't know his name, he labels him as that. That's the scene that I'm telling. I don't know what that scene means. And not that it means, we obviously know that there was struggle, and it ended up with her husband being dead and this guy being nearly dead with his brain sticking out of the side of his head.
Yeah,
he got hit in the head with some shit.
That was some Blair Witch shit. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Yeah. I was like, why is he standing like that?
Yeah.
Every time this dude went into her apartment, something weird always happens. I couldn't
Definitely
believe
about to
it.
start.
And he was willing to go back every single time.
Because he
That's
likes
the
that
crazy
shit.
part.
He's a sicko inside, man. I'm telling you.
A sickle came out. Well, he wasn't really sick because there were two scenes. When he went to go see Sandy after the first time that he was there, he was just so freaked out by Frank that he almost like nearly cried with Sandy. He was like, why are there people like this in the world?
Yeah.
You know, and then and then like a little bit later, after he got his ass beat by Frank and the group.
I'm telling you, he got molested, man. I'm telling you, that was just bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad, man. That was bad.
You think he got molested? He got
He
it. Well,
definitely did.
he got kissed with lipstick by another man.
And serenaded.
Yeah, serenaded. That's true.
Beat.
Yeah.
Twice. Now,
Candyman named the Sandman.
now, like, I wanted to ask you guys the thing in the living room in the house when you had the man in the yellow man, and this girl's husband, Dorothy's husband.
Yeah.
What do you think happened there, and who did it?
Shoot. I would say no, definitely Frank. He probably
Yeah.
just left for 2 seconds and then went back there just
Yeah.
to see what's going on, see if anybody moved. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That guy was Dennis Hopper really did his job, man. He really
He
did.
killed it. I think he killed it.
Yeah, he definitely did. But
Yeah.
I don't know, like that. I don't know.
That's actually
such a
one of my
weird
favorite
scene.
scenes.
And that's the whole point of the film.
Yeah.
You never knew what was going on.
Yeah,
I thought it
hell
was a
yeah.
detective.
I have a
thought
theory.
it was a detective from the
Yeah.
very beginning. I said, "Yo, he's acting funny.
Yeah.
He's too calm."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But look, you know, yeah, you're right. Maybe it could have been Frank.
Yeah.
For all we know. But
My
Because
theory-
he was too calm when he even walked in there. Like
Yeah.
he knew like what was going on. So I think that Frank went ape shit on both of them.
Yeah.
And just completely did away with her husband.
Because remember, Dorothy was like also abused.
yeah,
Like when she came naked to Jeffrey's house. I mean, not Jeffrey's house, to Sandy's house, and she was like bruised from head to toe. Like, you know what I mean? So she was like abused, and she managed to get away from the house. So whatever happened there too. Like whatever the
Yeah.
result was. And what I think is that I always thought that Frank probably, her and Frank, and they're all getting down, and she's probably doing it. Doing what he's doing to Dorothy in front of her husband, and one thing led to crazy shit, and then it ended up with the husband getting killed, Frank bashing the cop's head with whatever, with the lamp, I think it was something on the floor that he hit him over the head with, and I think it was because he found out that maybe the cops were getting close to him because of Jeffrey, you know what I mean, and he found out that Sandy obviously is the daughter of the police, the lieutenant or the captain or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he was the head honcho guy, and I guess he found out all that, and I think he just went crazy and like abused her the way he normally does, killed her husband, and bashed this guy's head with some shit in the skull.
You know what? I was also thinking, that cop was, really close to him too. It wasn't as if
that was like his partner.
Yeah, that was definitely his partner. So I'm thinking whatever he was doing with her husband, he probably did that before that cop went in there to see what was going on. He probably got scared, beat the crap out of the cop, then did what he had to do with Dorothy.
Yeah.
And then he took off.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think? You have any theories, Oscar?
I think that could have been the same thing too, but I actually thought the detective had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because of his partner. Because when he found out, your partner got something to do with it, he was like, whatever you do, just stay calm. Don't say anything, So I'm thinking like, that reminded me of Training Day, like like the corruption was just unbelievable, and the way he acted out so calm and smooth. I'm like, so I thought the same thing too. I'm like, a little too suspicious there. But hey, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Frank's the guy that literally did everyone in,
Yeah. Yeah. He obviously was. I mean, he was playing two people.
Yeah.
He was Frank Booth, and he was also that well-dressed man that they're talking about all the time. He would disguise himself, and I'm like, why would he do that? You know what I'm saying? Because you really don't see why he's doing that. You don't even find out. That's actually one of the things I love about this movie is that he is in the middle. Like, Jeffrey gets put literally in the middle of things that are going on that you don't know about. There was like a drug deal. Some people ended up, falling out a window, a hooker with a broken leg, and the guy's dead out in the window and everything like that. And everybody's like, what the hell is this? What the fuck is going on? And that's where that well-dressed man comes in. Like, he does drug deals as that person, like disguised, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And the cops into it. There's like corruption, and that's how he gets away with stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, you got a lot of theories, and that's what I like about this movie is that it paints these pictures, just like you said, and it tells you, all right, you figure out what they mean. The artist gives it to you, and then he lets you express yourself with it. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about David Lynch. He does that with all his films except for one movie, which is amazing. It's called The Straight Story.
Oh wow!
Which is hilarious. Like, if you see all his other movies, is like, and then he comes out with a movie called The Straight Story, and you're like, holy crap.
Did Dune come out before or after this?
Dune was after this.
It was after this.
Yeah, because
it seemed like Patrick Stewart was in that movie. If I'm not mistaken.
But also this guy too, Kyle MacLachlan, the guy that played Jeffrey. He plays the main character too.
I knew he looked familiar. I was like,
David Lynch, that's his guy.
Oh,
He's used him for like almost all his movies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in Dune, in Blue Velvet, he was in a movie called whatchamacallit? He was in the Twin Peaks TV show and the Twin Peaks movie. You know what I mean? So like he was like his guy. That was like his guy that he always went to a lot.
Actor.
Yeah, exactly. And he's great too. Like I think he's a great actor too. He's young and old. He's even a good actor now. It's mostly in TV stuff.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Now, the last thing that I want to talk about before we switch to something else is the car ride. When Jeffrey gets in the car rides all the time. Reason why I'm saying it is because I remember when I first saw this movie, and I put myself in his shoes. I remember being so scared. Meaning, like, being Jeffrey, like, you're in a car with strangers, you're forced to be in this car. Mm-hmm. They're doing all those things that they're doing, especially to Dorothy when she stared at him. Like, all these, like, the things. Because what I like about it, you don't see the car. You're just claustrophobic inside the car. And he's crowded by two dudes and a girl that's sitting on the lap of the other guy, and the girl's in the front. You know what I mean? So it feels so, like, super claustrophobic. And I feel like Jeffrey all the time, even now when we watched it now, when you guys saw it with me, I'm like, I can't help it. That's one of those scariest stuff for me because being in the car with strangers just freaks me out all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when you just meet them.
Yeah, especially, you don't know what you got some lunatic driving, cursing up a storm. Every sentence is just like an F-bomb here, an F-bomb there, you know?
Yeah, and then you're sharing the back seat with a bunch of henchmen, so I mean,
exactly.
You're gonna be.
That's what I mean.
And you got that.
And you literally don't know what the night is gonna have.
Yeah, and then you got that nymphomaniac, aka Dorothy, you know,
Yeah.
just sitting there, like, constantly looking at you, pissing the driver off. You're like, you know, like, it was scary. And then you got this guy playing with the knife next to your neck, too. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah. Like, that's what I mean. Like, and that's, like, the whole meaning about curiosity killed the cat. You're about to get, like, you might get killed, you might get maimed, you might get let go, but you don't know which one it is.
You might
You
get
know what I mean?
serenaded.
Huh?
Yeah, like,
You might get serenaded, chased by a man with red lipstick on. And that's just so strange. Like, I remember, like, it just, my mind just goes places, and you just think about, like, those situations, like, that's you. Oh my God, that's so freaky. And that's what this movie does a lot so well. Because you said it earlier, Oscar. This movie puts you in a position where you're thinking it's you. A lot. You know what I mean? A lot of times. You know? But now that we finished talking about this, I wanted to talk about, like, this kind of, like, new thing that I want to, like, throw into the movies that we watch now. And especially for this one, what if I told you, because it is true, what if I told you that David Lynch was nominated for an Oscar for this film?
Wow.
Under what category?
Best Director.
Best director?
Yeah, for that year. You know, or like the fact that this movie actually had 16 or 18 nominations and won 16 awards.
Oh wow.
It was one of the best movies of this year, of that year, 1986.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about that? Knowing, like, all the movies throughout the years that you've seen that get nominated and they go for Oscars or for any kind of thing like that, they're all pretty normal movies. You've seen some of those movies.
Yeah.
Are there any way, shape, or form anything like this?
I mean, I could see why it got all those awards because it's like I said, it stands out. It's not
Yeah.
repetitive like every other film out there.
No.
You got the same repetition, the same story, and this guy was just completely not random,
Yeah.
but mysterious, but enough to keep you watching more.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the whole point of the film.
Yeah. That this movie was Oscar worthy.
Wow. Yeah.
That meaning, because the thing is that for something to be Oscar worthy, a lot of people have had to have watched it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a critically acclaimed film. It's the movie to watch. It's a movie to see of that year. Like, basically, if you didn't see Blue Velvet at that time, you're corny. You know what I mean? Like, you had to see this movie. You know what I mean?
And you said this movie was 1986?
Yes, 86.
I
But it
think,
went
yeah.
for the nomination in 1987 because it came out late.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? I feel like, you know, during that time, a lot of movies, especially when it came to story, was actually in its experimental stages, if you
Yeah.
think about it. You know,
There were
like,
some people that came out that were very experimental at that time. It's
yeah,
true.
yeah. So it's like, you know, a lot of movies from the 80s actually catch the interest more, you know, when
Yeah.
you're watching it, rather than the movies that are coming out today. Like,
Yeah.
I really feel that way because if you think about it, a lot of the movies that we actually like grow up and actually talk about are from the 80s
Yeah.
or like the early 90s, around that time. Like, I never get the same feeling when I watch a movie now than I do when I watch the movie from that timeline.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like, it's definitely, I could definitely see it being, you know, awarded with a lot of you know, awards and, you know, merits that go with
Yeah.
that movie, you know?
Yeah, the one that won, though, for this year was actually Oliver Stone for Platoon. I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie.
Yeah, I've seen that
was
movie.
amazing.
Yeah.
But you know who Oliver Stone is, right? Natural Born Killers, Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
You ever seen those movies,
I've heard
Oscar?
of those titles, but
Yeah,
I've never
there's-
watched
They
them.
were good movies.
Wall Street. Yeah, that ring a bell. That one's like his most famous one from the 80s.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Wall Street was a really good movie.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's got a lot of good shit. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because where in this generation is our Blue Velvet?
You don't see
You don't
it.
see that.
You know?
No. It's
It's
always
out.
boy saves girl. You know, just jump to the point, but there's no story. It's just like explosion, action pack. You know, crazy dialogue. And this one, believe it or not, like I said before, it didn't have much dialogue.
No, not at all.
You understood the story as you watched it. You
Yeah.
know? And it left a little bit of a mystery, like, you know, oh,
Yeah.
you know, who's this character? What do they do? What part do they play in this in the
Yeah.
story?
Like I said, like, you know, which proves my point correct. You know, like, you'll never see a movie like that.
Nah, not
Not
like that.
not today, anyway.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean, they make them, but nobody sees them. You know what I mean? Like, these kinds of movies are there for you to watch. They're just independent. This was considered an independent film, and it was an independent film back then. But independent films now don't have that kind of like oomph. You know what I mean? Like even independent films, and I watch even still to this day independent films a lot.
Go straight to Netflix.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
This is a straight to Netflix movie in a way, you know. But and that's kind of fucked up.
Actually, did you ever see a trailer for this film?
Well,
Back in its time?
No, not in '87.
No?
I was too young. If they played it, it was obviously after 10.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because I was only
trailers
8
for
years
these
old.
the trailers for these movies back then are horrible.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
That's
Old-
my problem
old
right now
trailers are
with,
bad.
with trailers. I feel like they give out too much.
Oh, they give you the whole
Oh no, not this
story.
one. This one, like, all they did was like show random shots. I know this because
Yeah.
I've seen it on the DVD, whatever. It's just random shots like of when Jeffrey's in the car, her singing Blue Velvet, and then just like those little like love triangle scenes between him and Sandy, and him and Dorothy and things like that. It's very random. There isn't anything that actually says I need to see that movie other than the fact that David Lynch made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No.
if that just gives away everything.
Yeah, and I
you know
feel
what
like-
I'm saying?
yeah,
like
yeah.
like that trailer that you just described
Yeah.
gave away all the twists.
But
and
not
turns.
actual scenes. It was just like lines, like whatever Frank said in the car, like it would be a line, like whatever the cleanest line that he says, like "Are you ready to roll?" And then it'll be just like driving, and then it'll just be like a scene. It would just be like one-liners. That's all it is. Random one-liners said from different points of the movie. So like it's like okay, that doesn't mean anything. It's like super random. Like all the there's no story structure in the trailer. Is what I'm
I know. I
saying.
feel like trailers are supposed to be a built-up anticipation of the film, but now they just give everything away.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the trailer, pretty much you're not gonna like the film. To be honest, they
pretty
put all
much.
the best stuff out
Yeah,
there.
people get like turned off. Was like, hey,
Exactly.
wait a minute. And that's why like even back then like it wasn't like one of those trailers was like there a young college man comes back home. Like it's not one of those kind of like trailers
Yeah.
either. You know what I mean? But one of the things that I love about this movie is the fact that it has so much critical acclaim. It is considered as one of the greatest films ever made.
Really?
In like the AFI, it's on the list. They're on the list. Dennis Hopper's performance is like a big shoes to fill. Like you know what I mean? Like for his performance in terms of like being like he's never been like this. He never acted in anything better ever again.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He's been good in other roles, but like I said, this movie is his most quotable movie ever for people that watch movies like me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What other movie was he in after this?
He was King Koopa.
Yes.
Oh, really?
And the Mario Brothers film.
Super Mario Brothers, baby.
Yeah.
Oh
he
my
was,
goodness, he was. He was.
No, Dennis Hopper's been in a lot of stuff. He's a great actor. He was in Speed. He was the main bad guy in Speed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the one
Oh,
with no
shit,
thumb.
yeah,
he was
yeah.
him. He's been in lots of things. He's small and big. You know what I mean? So even at this time, he was well known.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually the most well known actor in this movie, except for her. Believe it or not, she's famous too. Isabella Rossellini.
Yeah,
She's
Jurassic
like an
Park.
Oscar award-winning actress. She's actually the most actress out of everybody in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
she's the high at the time. She was, big deal to have her in your movie. What did you think of Isabella Rossellini? Of Dorothy's character, what did you think?
Oh, Dorothy's character? She's out there, man.
She's out there.
She's out there. She's not all there. That's what I actually questioned the whole time when I was watching the film. I'm like, is she sane? Is she insane?
She's
Is
very sane. That's the part that makes her scary but she's dislodged because of the mental and physical
Exactly, because the situation,
imprisonment that
yeah.
she's in.
Exactly, because I see a lot of like abuse,
Yeah.
syndromes and all this other.
Yeah.
She shows the signs.
She's
I'm
battered.
thinking, yeah,
But then you see her at the end with her son.
she could look completely normal.
She looks completely regular, normal, hugging her child in the park.
and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. It's a
Yeah.
crazy girl.
But that's actually one. Like I said, like with Blue Velvet, I feel that we as a movie watching people, we don't have a Blue Velvet in this generation, and
No.
that really upsets me.
I mean, look
You
at the
know?
clothes they tried with 50 Shades of Grey. I mean,
Yeah, like, but
that's
even
terrible.
that, there's no quality in that
Exactly.
work.
No,
You know what I mean?
Dude, because that came straight from a book.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
a book
regardless
first.
of the book,
you
that's
know?
what I mean. They're scared to right now in the film industry. They're scared to take risks. They're
Do you
scared
think
to
we're
take
scared to make a Blue Velvet
Yeah,
movie?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because
And
everyone's
it's so simple too.
because everyone's offended by anything. And
Yeah,
films are supposed
I was
to
just
be.
gonna say we live in a PC community right now.
Yeah.
If you think about it, everybody has to be politically correct, and if you were to do anything to like show anything blue velvetly, you're pissing somebody off.
Yeah, someone's getting offended.
Yeah.
Someone's getting mad. I mean, even something as tame, because that's one of the things that's why I like watching showing these movies is because this is so tame. I mean, not tame. It's so much more like whoa, in comparison to like 50 Shades of Grey, where people think that that's like, oh my god, close your eyes.
Yeah.
That's smut and all this and that. I'm like, get out of here with that, man. I got so many other movies that go way more deeper than that. You know what I mean? Even this movie, because it does, like, there's like S&M in 50 Shades. Look at this. A fucking college kid just got like slapped in the face with like, you know, beating and dominating like women and stuff. They got a woman that's begging this man to beat her.
Yep. Literally.
You know?
If you think about it, though, I think that people, even though they would hate it, they would actually, it would be like something to, you know, love to hate. You know what I'm saying? Like,
which is stupid.
Like, for example, like a lot of people, you know, watch these kind of things. Like perfect example, like, and I don't mean to throw anything out there, but like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That has a lot of messed up things in it that you can
It does.
actually.
And that's what
which I like.
And that's what
Yeah,
sells.
yeah. So that my whole point is, like, I think that, you know, if the Hollywood would stop, you know, try to be so politically correct about what they put on screen, that I'm pretty sure that they could be open to like stuff like this.
I feel like
you
you're
know?
killing the art, though. You're killing the art
really,
because
like,
you're pretty much
really killing it.
conforming everybody to be a
Yeah.
certain way to do films. Because nobody wants to take risks no more. You know?
No,
Like,
not at all. You know, but even like the ones that do, I guess the closest thing to this movie, because one of the problems that I have is that you either do it, you either don't do it, you know, like the way that it is now in Hollywood, or when you do it, you do it way too much, and you're just like, you know, you're beating it in the head with a stick, and then there's no story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the best part about this film is that it has, I feel that it's well balanced in story, and with that sexuality kind of like stuff in your face that you don't want to see, but you can't look away. You can't stop looking away.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm really trying to think what movie can compare to Blue Velvet.
And that's kind of hard to tell.
I'm talking about like, okay, even go back the last 10 years.
Whew.
And that's not even a long time. Fuck it. 5 years. Go back 5 years, and what did you watch that wasn't fucking straight from Netflix?
Okay.
That was like
so
this.
We're not even considering.
But it's
Netflix.
not because Netflix, it doesn't count, because even though people have Netflix, they don't watch nothing except for Orange is the New Black.
Well, because now everything's all remakes. Like,
Yeah.
No one takes an edge
Yeah.
to say, hey, let me make a new film that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Now everybody's like, oh, let's remake this, let's do this. There's no originality no more.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's out the
Like,
window.
even for adults, there's nothing, because this is considered something for adults to watch, and there's nothing there that I would actually recommend to anybody. Like, yo.
And the crazy thing about this, if you want to talk about the sexual content, the way they set it up, like, you can tell, but they didn't show enough skin. It's not like you can see, like,
But you got to see a lot,
ass
though.
or
Like, I was
tits.
front.
just gonna say that.
You've seen enough, but not to the point that it's like you're watching Pornhub.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I'm
not
saying?
at
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
It was just about enough.
It's
Yeah.
like everything was left to the
And
imagination.
But
the
it
message
made-
was delivered effectively. You know,
Yeah,
you
it does,
knew.
because all the nudity is story driven. That's why, like, one of my favorite things about showing you this movie is because though it's like super sexual, if you can call it that, I don't think it's super sexual, but it is heavy in tone with sex and sexual activity and sexualism and all that kind of stuff. The quality of story is so strong that you can be like, I need to finish it. I need to find out what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It keeps you hooked. It's not just about the, you know, like as Frank calls Dorothy, tits.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just about the tits. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about, you know, will Dorothy get her husband back? Will she get her son back? Is Jeffrey gonna get out of this alive? Will he die at the end of this movie? You don't know. Like, such a simple story is told so great and so not complex, but like so intriguing that you'd be like, yo, I gotta finish. I gotta finish. You know what I mean? So I served my purpose in showing you Blue Velvet, and that was, you know, and I also thank you guys for watching Blue Velvet. I can't help just to keep saying thank you every time that you guys watch movies, because this is what I love about this show, is to show people brand new movies.
No,
And this movie's old as hell.
yeah, it was a good experience. I could add this to the repertoire. Be like, look, check this film out. You know, this is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
and no one will actually believe that anymore because they're so accustomed to what they're watching now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
repetitive over after over.
Like, it needs to be 4K, it needs to be 1080p. You know, if it's not high quality, no one wants to watch it. No.
I am coming upset it's not on Blu-ray. I would love it on Blu-ray. It's only on DVD. They never
Yeah.
released it. I would love it in a better quality, but hey man, that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you the which I feel like is not a hard question, but like a question that I don't think you guys have the answer to. Now, you guys watch this movie because you're making the show for me. You're open to watching things, especially open to watching things. Do you think that this is something that you guys can actually share with someone else?
Yeah, I can.
There's someone that you actually can show this outside of this podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And you think that they would be open to watching it?
Yes. Yes. Only because they hear the same thing over and over again. Films are not what they used to be anymore. Now it's all like I said, it's all this repetition of things, and it's nothing different.
What about you, John?
I don't know.
There isn't anyone you think that you can actually show this to?
Like, they would have to be, like, close friends. It can't be just, like...
Oh, yeah, you can't just show it some random person.
Yeah,
like, you're my close friends. Yeah, I'm showing it to you guys.
Like, I don't know. Like, let's say if, if I was in a situation where, like, I'm trying to show this to my girlfriend. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
She has to be into wanting to watch quality films, because then if you show it to any random person, they just think that you're showing them smut.
Yeah.
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 That's just, and when I got into it and I popped this movie in, I knew that I wasn't showing you smut.
I guess you could say that I would. Like, I definitely have, people that would, like, be, like, interested in watching something like this. But at the same time, it's just, like, it's like one of those what the hell kind of movies. Even though it is a good movie.
Because there's a lot of people out there, and I know you know them, that say, I want to watch something, but I don't know what to watch. I want to watch something new or new likes, something like fresh.
Like, eventually you're going to get tired of watching the barbershops. You're going to get tired of watching, like I
Perry movies.
Yeah. It's the same shit over and over again. So, like I said, you're going to want to watch something different for once. That's why I like to watch foreign films, because they don't follow the same American guidelines.
No, they don't.
Let's not show this. Let's not put that in there. They don't give a fuck.
They have different kind of like things that they want to show and
that's
not
how
show.
That's how it's supposed to be, but it's not like that no more. Now it's just make it for the audience. But at the end of the day, they tend to forget who the audience is. Yeah. We're all human,
Well, that's what I like, because David Lynch, he made an audience. He has a specific audience. He knows what his audience like to see when his movies come out. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel that, like, we've lost. You know what I mean? I think the only person that really has it is Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, definitely.
Where that's why he has, like, those introductions in his movies. Like, this is the 8th film from Quentin Tarantino. So now everybody, when they see a Quentin Tarantino movie, they know what they're getting into. They know what they're going to watch. They know that they're going to watch something dialogue-driven, that there's going to be a lot of talking, not that, you know what I mean? Like, there's a mental set.
And that's why I feel like now, if you look at films, if you don't know the actor who plays the main role or the leading role, the side role, whatever, you probably won't watch it. Yeah. So, like, that's what I'm saying. That they focus too much on the effects, on the quality.
It could be anybody.
Exactly.
And that's also another reason why I want to show you this movie, because like Kubrick, but not really, is that David Lynch has an obscure style, a style that I want to keep showing people, because let me ask you something. Like, watching this movie, would you be wanting to see any other movies he's ever made?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like, what else does he have to offer to the table? Yeah.
That just expanded my list of films. Like, okay, if that was like that, I want to see what else he did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What
exactly, because he delves into the, like, world of weird, or what he feels that is weird. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so if that came out then, shit, what about something else? Because he obviously still makes movies now. The last movie he made was in 2001. Was it 2001? It was in the 2000s. It was Mulholland Drive, which I think is a superb film, which I think should be the next movie. I think we should keep it in a David Lynch flow. Yeah. If you guys are interested, and I would love to show you.
I've never actually heard of that film, and I would actually like to watch it.
Have you heard of it?
No, never heard.
Oh, okay, because it actually has more known people.
I definitely have. I heard that, but I never watched it.
Naomi Watts is in it. Did you ever see that new version of King Kong? The one that had Jack Black?
Yes.
Naomi Watts played the woman that King Kong was, like, taking. The main girl, whatever.
She's the main actress in that movie, right?
Yeah. Which one, Mulholland Drive?
Yeah.
Yes, she's the main actress. She's the woman that we follow, and then you also, but there are other characters and things like that, and to see, like, a huge fan of David Lynch, and he was happy that he was in his movies, is David Bowie. Rest in peace. David Bowie was in Twin Peaks. He got to be an actor in one of his in some of his work, which he loved. John, I heard you say a lot of times too, the soundtrack to this movie.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like I'm into that kind of music.
Mhm.
You know.
Actually, I liked it. It was pretty good.
His movies also really open you up to the world of music, and you want to hear that stuff, like that kind of music or music like that a lot. He has a really cool ear for music, because if you see a picture of David Lynch, he actually looks like a 1950s guy. He actually is lucky enough to have all his hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he has like a high top and shit like that. He looks really pretty cool. Let me just show you a picture of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like you guys on the podcast who are listening, if you can, look on your phone, look up David Lynch if you've never seen what he looks like, and take a look. Doesn't he look like the movies he makes?
Yeah, he does.
He actually looks like he would be in this movie, Blue Velvet. And when you see his other movies, you're like, yo, he should be in his movies. Because the people that he has.
Looks like he could be in Bronx Tale or Goodfellas.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He looks like he plays
He's a
golf.
lucky bastard. He has all his hair. You know, but in closing with this one, it's going to be a short podcast today. Because Blue Velvet, though there's so much to say, you know, we've already pretty much left it on the table. You know, I've had my quib with it. Like, there's such quality work in this film alone that I feel like it's getting lost in translation in movie watching, you know, stuff. Like, the way that we watch movies. You know, like, everybody's, you know, like, there's so many movies that you can offer someone to watch that they forget about the ones that they should be watching sometimes. You know what I mean? Because they just kind of, like, deal or, like, let it just sit with, like, the normal stuff. Because it's right in front of their faces. You know what I mean? So I think that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And thank you guys for watching this. Thank you for taking a risk in watching something really brand new to your eyes and your ears. And I can't wait to show you the next one.
Looking forward to it.
You know?
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right. We'll keep it on a David Lynch flow. I'm kind of upset Gary didn't see this movie.
Yes.
Gary would be weirded out too.
He would have. That's why I want to keep it on the David Lynch flow. I'm hoping that the next time we see the next movie that he's here. Because I want to kind of like, what the hell? Like, I want him to have that same thing. Because that was genuine. That was one of the things I was very happy about when we were watching this movie, that a lot of what the hells were coming out of your mouths when we were watching it.
Hell yeah.
I was so happy. And it fills me up with joy.
Freaking, I don't know, man. I was getting into some dominatrix shit. Like, I think I don't know. Like,
That's why I say I don't know whether she liked it or she just like was.
I honestly like my last thoughts about this, because I know this is supposed
closing
to be short.
thoughts, man.
Yeah, go ahead,
closing
go ahead.
thoughts definitely. Like, I feel like everything that was happening to her turned her into a nymphomaniac. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. I always see her as like she got institutionalized. You know, like if you're in prison and then you get used to being in prison and you don't want to leave or you don't want to get out.
And the reason why I back you up on that is because in the scene when she showed up at the house, at the what's the name of the detectives?
Sandy's house?
Yeah, Sandy's house. She still stayed in that role. She couldn't break out of it. She couldn't said, "Oh,
she's broken."
Yeah, she's literally a broken.
She's
soul.
super broken, and I think that's what happened. She's institutionalized. She was because when you see her that way in that state of mind, you think of the first thing that went to my mind is, how long has this been going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She had that argument with her son. I'm sorry that we're like, damn, I know we're close. But now I'm remembering that she had that argument with her son when she was able to see her son. You were only able to hear what's going on.
Exactly.
She arguing with a little boy. You know, like, no, mommy loves you. And that goes to show you, like, because a small child will start forgetting who her mother is.
Yeah.
If she's not being, you know, if they're not there often. You know what I mean? So that kind of gives you, like, this timeline. You know, like, this has been going on for a while.
And I actually liked how they never showed the kid until the end. Because you wouldn't. I would have thought that was another person or somebody else in the figure of her.
Yeah, like, is it real? Is this really happening? Because
so they did that right. They waited till the end to
because
show
they wanted to keep it from Jeffrey's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Like, you were Jeffrey. It's like, I think that her husband got kidnapped and her son, and that's why she's being held captive by this guy named Frank. But I'm not really sure. Well, why don't you tell the cops? Because I'm not really sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going on but what I'm seeing and what I heard, and that's it.
Yep.
but you have no visible proof. You know what I mean? And that's what I liked about it, is that it stayed in that way, where it's like no visible proof.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes you think though, like what led up to that point in time where it's like, okay, did the father do something that he wasn't supposed
like
to
was
do?
he in
Like,
it?
Yeah, was he in like the whole drug business and like?
I want to think that he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like how did Frank get into the picture? It makes you think about everything. That,
Yeah, like how did he
kinda,
meet this woman? Maybe singing,
And
then he got intrigued to her from when she was singing at the slow club.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, it
something
just makes you think, like, even the connection to the song.
Mhm.
Like that one song popped up, the Blue Velvet song, in different versions too.
Yes.
Which it's like it's very artistic on how he made this movie. Like, she was singing Blue Velvet. Like, in some scenes, Blue Velvet was playing in the background. It was just.
That's why I
She
think
was
she
wearing
had a drug
Blue
problem.
Yeah.
Maybe she had a drug problem. Because look, every time in every scene, the places where Frank drove to, where was he at? What did he take? Remember,
Yeah.
he took a
Yeah.
pill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you control somebody besides threatening them?
Yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah. She was a complete prison.
Yep.
A prisoner in his like world.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Why? Because she had, a husband that she loved that was taken, and her son. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. But I think it's time to say goodbye
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
to this podcast. People are hungry.
Yeah, definitely.
Any last things to say about Blue Velvet?
Pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Watch it if you have the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you recommend it to the world of my podcast?
I don't know if you're into that kind of stuff, man. Yeah, it's definitely a movie for you to watch, but depends on the person, really.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but that's what the movie watching experience, man.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Put it like this: definitely worth the watch because it makes an interesting conversation afterwards.
And for people that like making movies, just know this: you cannot, just the first step to becoming a great filmmaker is to become a great movie watcher.
Yeah.
So just know this, and just for anybody, you want to be like, it's just like reading books. You know what I mean? Like, people say you should read more books. I agree, but I also want to tell people you should watch great films, because just like great books, they will put you in a world where you can't stop thinking about it, and that's where that magic is, right? Just like books, they put you in this world that you're just like, wow. Because like, I know for a fact that after I leave here, we're in our beds. When it comes to new movies with me, I can't stop thinking about it for a couple of minutes. When I'm in bed, I'm just thinking about what I saw and things like that. And I hope that you guys get that little bit of a mentality as well. And then I hope the people that watch this movie get that same mentality as well. And they hope that they come back and get some more of like movies that I can recommend for you guys to watch. Because that's what this show is about. That's what my podcast is about. That's what my Facebook page and all that stuff is about. Okay, so in closing, follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/whatthehellpcast, instagram.com/whatthehellpcast, my twitter.com/thehellpcast. You can also follow on YouTube. You can subscribe to YouTube. You can listen to all my stuff there as well if you want to. You can listen to it on iTunes, on Google Play Music. You can listen to it on SoundCloud. Okay, just go to that search engine and go, what the hell did we just watch? Question mark, exclamation point if you want. But it all come up just with just the words. Whatever tickles your pickle. You want to put it like that, go right ahead. But please follow me and comment, share. There's a lot of things to say. There's a lot of things that people want to say about all these movies. So go right ahead. Talk on that thing, all right? And I think that anybody else got anything to say? John?
No, that's it.
Not good.
We love people's reactions to these movies, man. We love it.
Awesome. Oscar.
Yep, it was good. I want to say good night, world.
Yeah,
Until
good night,
next
world.
time.
All right, man. So on that note, I just want to say peace out, yo.
Peace.
Goodbye.